Hi everybody, this is the Baseball Head, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, and welcome back to the Baseball Head 3. And hopefully you like this video. Hit that subscribe button. As you know, there have been many changes to WFAN. We've seen the return of Craig Carton. And of course, we've seen the showing of the door to Salicata and Brandon Tierney. It doesn't seem like they're ever going to go back there, but if they build up their social media personas, WFAN will come knocking on their door. Your host predicts that Craig Carton will not be there for long. Comebacks don't usually last, and this is the third comeback for this guy. And but interesting is not only did Brandon Tierney lose his job, Salicata lost his job. Uneven Evan Roberts went back in the mid-morning show with his husband. He said he was in a marriage, not your host, just trying to accommodate Uneven Evan and his husband Tiki Barber. And of course, Keith McPherson's not there at late night, and they put Tommy Lugauer there. And I don't know who the overnight guy is, or woman, or whatever. But interestingly enough, one of the things that happened is a lot of update people got let go, lost their jobs. A lot of people that have been there years and years and years, like Rich Ackerman, Eric Herskowitz. A lot of people lost their jobs, and some people retired too. A lot of changes at this radio station. And would mention, BT and Sal, or as I like to call them, the Coconut Head and Spaz, had a successful show. This show was not a failure. The previous show that was there in the morning, Maggie, Moose, and Bart Scott, that was not a good show. Nobody cared for them, and it was terrible. This show was actually decent for the mid-morning. But let me read you about some of the other changes here at the radio station known as WFAN. Now, I don't have like a crazy, this is not really a crazy kind of funny farmability. I mean, I could finish it big then, but here's from Barrett Media. Odyssey's Chris Olivero explains why WFAN sports updates ended with lineup changes. Quote, WFAN may be the last broadcast sports radio station still doing the typical updates. I thought they got rid of these updates a long time ago. Because I never heard. I think I heard the last one, to be honest with you. WFAN, the flagship sports radio station in New York, and they're the first station, has officially ended its long-standing 2020 score and news updates, a move market manager Chris Olivero described as a necessary evolution in an era of changing technology and audience habits. The reason is very simple. You can look on your phone and get an update. You can watch a game on your phone. You don't need to listen to the radio to get an update. Speaking of the main event with Andrew Marchand podcast, Olivero explained the reasoning why WFAN made the move was due to shifts in how audience consumed information. Quote, WFAN may be the last broadcast sports radio station still doing the typical updates, explained Olivero. We recognize technology and changed. Information and scores could be readily available on other platforms, and people will come to us for the opinions, etc. So we did stop doing them. I thought they were always up there. I mean, for the longest time, it's been nothing but opinion. Opinion, and more opinion. The end of the 2020 sports updates that had been a long-standing utility for the station was another change that began with the return of Craig Carton to WFAN earlier this month. I would mention, I think a lot of this, unfortunately, they let people go, that the update people would let go so they could pay Craig Carton. I think that was something that they did. The sports talk radio is not doing well as an industry because of all the podcasts. Podcasts have just gotten out of control, quite frankly. But the competition is good. As the final days of WFAN's 2025 calendar happened, many longtime update anchors on WFAN announced their upcoming departures from the station. Erica Herskowitz and Rich Ackerman were among several other names that announced their departures from their update anchor role. The decision, Olivero noted, allowed the station to reallocate resources in ways that better reflect modern audience expectations, but they don't have to pay them. That's another way of saying it. They can move the money into giving more money to Uneven Evan, because Uneven Evan, not only did he lose his spot in the afternoon drive, but he also lost his TV show. So they had to pay him a little bit of money, and Tiki Barber too, but then they're not on TV anymore. And they had to pay Craig Carton, and they had to give a raise to the psycho killer to Chris McMonagle. That's why they let these people go, and they got rid of the 2020. I guess they figured we'll get them out of here. We'll just get rid of the 2020 updates when we need them for. The station has been expanding its digital footprint, including video content, social media engagement, areas that now receive more attention thanks to the change. While the move breaks from decades of tradition, Olivero framed it as a part of WFN's commitment to long-term relevance. I also think that my goofing on them back 3 years ago kind of pushed them in that direction too. WFN is going to be 40 in 2027. That's a long, solid 4-decade run of success. You're not going to have success over multiple decades if you just keep doing the same thing and you're not confident enough to evolve. Which is a big reason I'm doing this channel, is to evolve what I do online. Because if I keep doing Baseball Hut and talk about the Mets all the time, it's just going to sit there. And if we have a lockout next year, I got to keep the money flowing. Particularly on YouTube. Not so much on Facebook, because Facebook is different. Because Facebook is a lot of sort of baseball cards and sort of random pictures and things that I think are interesting to look at. If you want to freeze us in time and say we have to be the same brand that we were in 87 and 97, 07, guess what usually happens to brands like that? They go out of business, right? In any industry, you can talk blockbuster. You could pick your favorite business analogy. We have to evolve, he said. WFAN's shift away from hourly 2020 updates reflects a broader trend in sports media, where stations are balancing traditional on-air formats with digital-first strategies to reach audiences in multiple platforms. By investing in video and social production, the station hopes to maintain its relevance among listeners who increasingly access scores and highlights online. And how much money are you going to invest on video and social production? I mean, you can hire one person to do all this. And a lot of this is a lot of gobbledygook, to be honest with you. It didn't take much to do this. You just hire one person to do this. You know, and they don't do the weekends. That's the one thing I know I will say. That's why all my videos do so much better on the weekends. Because they don't work on the weekends. This is a job to them. All this is a job. Unless there's some kind of breaking news and they come on, you know, and they post stuff. The weekends are dead to them. You know. That's the one thing I've noticed over many years of doing videos on the fan, is that the weekends are prime to get all kinds of clicks and everything else. Clicks, views, hours, money, you know. During the week is okay. And now as your host, I have to compete a little bit more with them. But on the weekend, no competition. Because they're off. All these shows are off. They don't even go on Monday to Friday. And they don't care about the losers. They don't care about the hosts on the weekend. Maybe that dope Joe Beningo does the show in the morning. That's about it. You know, let's be honest. They don't care about anything else. They only care about during the week. Well, let me know what you think about this video. And of course, please subscribe to the Baseball Hut 3. Getting close to 500 subs. Getting close to being partially monetized. And we want to get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. We're getting there very quickly. I'm very happy with this channel. And the more the merrier. And of course, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.